Today, we're going to see an auto follow-up system built within Airtable that allows us to send automatic follow-up based on specific events and triggers. The reason here is that a lot of deals are lost because we simply didn't remember to follow up, either from a call no-show, so the prospect didn't show up for the call and we forgot to reach out and reschedule the call, or the prospect asked to reach out in 30 days and we didn't forget and we forgot to follow up. So this is a system that allows you to solve this problem. We're gonna see these 5 different components from the setup till the actual different automations that are present over here. So I wanna start off by showcasing the Airtable setup that we have over here. This is Airtable CRM, and we have 3 main components related to the CRM, which are the opportunities, the interactions, and the contacts. Opportunities are every stage of the deal. Interactions are the different actions that we do within the different contacts, whether those are calls, emails, DMs, and so on. And then contacts are the actual contacts that are present. So first off, the first thing that we're going to see is we're going to see an example of this applied on a call no-show, for example. So when you schedule a call with a prospect and the prospect doesn't show up. So what happens in this instance? So first off, we start off with a call record within Airtable. And when we change the status to no-show, we start the follow-up trigger. So let me show you an example on the interactions over here. Here we have a call. Here we have the call with information such as the date and different things to whom who is the attendee of the call, who is the contact related to the call. And the first thing that we have to do over here is we need to change the status of the call. So after the call is finished, what we can do is we can change the status to no-show, for example. When we change the status to no-show, this will trigger a sequence like the following. This is an Airtable automation that triggers a make.com automation. So what happens here is when a status is updated and the status is no-show, we run a script, which is the call no-show follow-up script. This run right now, and we will actually see how this actually worked. So what happens here is this is the trigger, so the call is marked as a no-show. We start by sending the first follow-up message. Here, the message that we send is, seems like we miss each other. Let's find a better time. What's a good time for you? So very soft message for the follow-up. We log the email. We log the email that we sent out, and then we add the contact to a no-show sequence. So let me also go through here and show you this second component that we are going through. So this is what we are doing right now. We add the contact to a no-show follow-up sequence. So this is the third component that we have over here. If we check the contact here, for example, we see that the contact has an email sequence associated with a sequence number, and then also has a follow-up date. So the follow-up date is something that we add directly here when we add the contact to call no show. And basically what we do here is we take the today date, we add 2 dates, and that is our follow-up example, our follow-up date. So then what we have inside here is we have a formula. The formula here is to check whether the follow-up is in the future or not. This is used to trigger the third component of the automation that I showed over here. So when the follow-up is passed and the lead didn't respond, we trigger the next sequence. So let me show you the automation within Airtable. This is the automation within Airtable. So that happens every time there's a follow-up and the lead didn't respond to the last email. This is pretty key because we can use this as a reference to not trigger the follow-up if the lead actually responded. and we will see how how this leads response works. So again, this automation triggers make.com, and this is another automation that we have inside here, which is called follow-up system email sequences. So what happens over here is that when the follow-up time elapsed, we get the contact, and then here we have the type of follow-up that we can use. Keep in mind that this system right now is created with only one type of follow-up in mind, but what we possibly can have is we can have multiple types of follow-ups over here. So for example, let's say that we have reach out in 30 days, and then here we use email sequence is equal to reach out in 30 days. So in this way, we created another type of follow-up, and then what we can do over here is we can either create a follow-up sequence like the one that we created before, or we can use a different type of follow-up. So whether an automatic email send or an alert on, for example, our email or our Slack to reach out. But yeah, let's focus on this part here. What we do is we start a sequence, a follow-up sequence over here, where if the email sequence is equal to 1, we send the second follow-up, and then we do the same operations that we did before. We add the log, and then we update the sequence number. Adding the log means adding another interaction within Airtable. So in this way, we can actually keep track of all the interactions that we have within each prospect, and in the future, we can also reference those and do an analysis on the type of interaction that we have and how many interactions do we need to actually close the prospect and all sort of different information like that. What we do here is we update the follow-up sequence. So we update the sequence number to 2, and then we add 2 dates to the follow-up date. Keep in mind, you can add as many data as you want, or you can make this dynamic if you wanted to. And then when we add these 2 dates, the sequence will restart over here. So we, if the follow-up time elapsed and the sequence is equal to 1, we will send the follow-up email number 3. Now, as I mentioned before, this is all good, but we don't want to send a follow-up sequence to lead that actually respond. So how do we monitor this part related to how do lead respond? And that is where the fourth component comes in, which is a component to check our actual email and to see which email we get from the prospect. This is the third automation, and as you can see here, it seems way more complicated than it seems, but this is an actual system of automation. So not only one is needed, but a multiple set of automations is needed. So in this part, what we do is we check for emails on a daily basis. So we check for emails that are related to that specific day. We aggregate those, and then here we get all the contacts that we have within our CRM and aggregate those. And this is the interesting part. So we iterate over the emails that we have within that specific date. We check for the email sender. So we check for who is actually the email sender of those emails. And if the email sender is present within our actual CRM, then we save those emails. Otherwise, we don't save them. And then what we do is we iterate on the relevant emails that we got. We check if the interaction is already present. So if the interaction is already present, we don't need to re-add that. And if it's not present, we again add the interaction. The interaction over here is with all the different information about the time, the subject, as well as the content of the email, as well as other things such as sent interaction. And then here, what we do is we find the contact email, and then we update the replied to last email. So the part that I mentioned at the beginning, this component over here, responded to last email, is equal to unchecked. In this way, we check this, so this is actually not triggering. So yeah, this was the system. As you can see here, just to set up a call no show, there are a couple of different components. So if you want to build something similar, and if you want to build that out, you can find the templates down in the description, and keep in mind that those can be augmented and updated depending on your needs. And if you need help implementing that, please reach out, and we can have a quick call and see how can I help with the implementation. Other than that, hope this was valuable to you, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.